All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive. Holy fucking shit, I'm doing it. I I gotta keep like my excitement up because like it's Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive. Like we already did Sonic 1, and Sonic 1 on its own was kind of hype when we played it. I say hype just because it was like we had cool stuff going on. This is really funny. This is a bug, apparently. Um, and yeah, I couldn't help but show it off. Um, that's that's the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Mega Drive or the Mega System, the Master System. Fuck, did I say Mega Drive? I'm stupid. Master System. It's Sonic 1 on the Master System. We did Sonic 1 on the Genesis already previously, but this is the 8-bit version of Sonic 1 for a console that Sega made before the Sega Genesis. And it was kind of like one of those things where the game company released a console and then they had a launch title, in this case it being Sonic 1, and they realized, oh man, this game is really good, we should do something for the like a million people who don't have another like $200 to blow immediately right out the gate this Christmas or something like that. So we got Sonic 1 on the Master System, and for all intents and purposes, it's a pretty decent Sonic game. I'll just come out the gate and say it. It's not awful. I had fun. That's one of the more interesting things about this game, actually. You just saw I collected a Chaos Emerald in the middle of the goddamn fucking stage. there are special stages, and they're nowhere near as trippy as they are in Sonic 1 on the Master System. And it really goes to show you how... and this is purely from like a gameplay perspective, like someone who's grown up playing Sonic, and the perspective of someone who doesn't like their eyes to be attacked all the time. It's really refreshing, actually, to just not have that. With that being said, I didn't actually go through and get all the emeralds. I did this purposefully because I was like, you know what? If I'm not gonna get the emeralds in Sonic 1 my first time around, I'm not gonna get the emeralds in Sonic 1 my first time around. It's really funny. I'm enjoying saying the same thing repeatedly a little bit. Here's the special stage I was talking about. It gives me very big Kirby vibes for some reason. Like I feel like I'm in like a Kirby bonus level right now. But I digress. I lost track of what I was saying. I'm just too hyped about Sonic. The main gimmick with this game really is that there's two versions of it, right? Two at the same time. So it's not really that there's a main gimmick or anything. There's this version that came out on the Master System, and then another version that came out of the Game Gear, and it's the same. It's functionally and like in pretty much every aspect and word, it's the same version. There's slight differences, but those are very negligible. And I don't really have a whole lot to really pull from, mainly because I've never actually spent too much time in the Game Gear version. I think I touched it just to be like, oh, hey, look, I did it. And I don't know if there's anything further to the right over there. I doubt it. I think it's just more spikes. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, we're coming up on our first boss fight, and this gives me a little bit of an opportunity to talk about not so much the boss fights, because I want to get to that a little bit later. But this first boss fight is actually a little bit more of a pain in the ass than it looks. You can see I can't actually hit him when he's just flying around side to side right there. And right here, he'll like, Robotnik will like stay in place a little bit. And most of the time in like classic 2D Sonic games, you'll try to chain hits onto Eggman, just so you can like hit him a bunch of times and get the boss fight done and over with quicker. The funny thing about this boss and this game in general is you have little opportunities to really do that, because half of the time Eggman, when he's vulnerable, just has a shit ton of iframes, and those iframes also have hitboxes. And so if you try to get a little like too greedy with it, sometimes you'll just get hit and die. And I say get hit and die because there are like no rings in the boss fight levels. I don't know if you guys noticed or saw, but they have entire levels dedicated to most of the boss fights in this game, and it's a little brutal, just straight up. Yeah, this game is kind of hard. I'd say it's harder than Sonic 1, but I'm not gonna say that Sonic 1 in and of itself is a hard game. You know, I would say it's difficult. It's not easy for, like, you know, baby's first video game, and this being no exception, of course. But I don't think it's like, I don't think it's fucking hard, you know? Like, I think it's hard in the same way that I think Crash 1 is hard. And I don't think Crash 1 is a hard game. I just think it's a difficult video game. Anyway, Dark Souls comparisons out the room now. I can finally get over that. Speaking of which, I know this is really off topic, but I want to do a Bloodborne playthrough at some point, and I don't know if people would be interested in that. So I figured the best place to talk about it would be at a Sonic 1 Let's Play for the Master System. But yeah, the boss fights kind of difficult. Overall, the level design is fine in this game. It's just what you're seeing right now is the entire screen, right? So it's not really, it doesn't really lend itself too well to being fast-paced in most instances, which is it like works in this game's benefit more often than I'd say it works in Sonic 1's benefit. And I'm grateful that I didn't really talk about the level design way too much in the Sonic 1 Let's Play, because this gives me more opportunity to talk about the level design in Sonic 1 and this Sonic 1. So, yeah, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, all the classic Sonic games, they are in like a square aspect ratio, right? So you're still incentivized to go fast, but half of the time you don't see everything that's on screen, especially not fast enough to actually be able to react. I'm sure if you guys saw how fast I went through Green Hill Act 1, which I know is more often than not the exception in most Sonic games, and by the time that you're going super duper fast, you either have the level memorized or you have a rough idea of the level layout to not get hit every 4 or 5 seconds, which again is a blessing and a curse in most instances. But this game in particular is a lot slower than most Sonic games, and this isn't really its own fault as much as it is just the system that it's on. You have a lot of slowdown in a lot of points in this game, especially in Labyrinth Zone, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The Genesis version didn't like Labyrinth Zone very much either, so I shouldn't really point too hard of a finger at this game, especially because it's on hardware that came out before. Again, I'm trying to give this game as much credit for the time as I can without just like dismissing it for being the game that it is. Because on the outset, the game that it isn't perfect and it isn't all that great, but it's worth a time, you know? Like I like it. I like it more than Mario. Maybe not more than Mario 3, but you know, I like it more than Mario. Mario 3 is a good fucking game. I'm sorry. I'm not dying on this hill. Like I love Sonic with all my heart. And I don't know if this is the first time I've said this on the channel, but like Mario 3 is just a really good fucking video game. And a lot of earlier, like especially earlier classic Sonic games, like I like Sonic 3 more than I like Mario 3, but like on most days of the week, if you stop me out in the middle of the street and say, what's a better game, Sonic 2 or Mario 3, I might say Mario 3. Even though I've played Sonic 2 more and I like Sonic 2 more, the better game is just kind of Mario 3. But again, that's really, at that point, that is all your interpretation, you know? But Super Mario World, fuck that game. Dude, fuck that game. I don't know what it is about that game. I don't like that game. I like Yoshi. Yoshi's fucking dope. I was talking about Mario another time. We're just talking about Bridge Zone right now, and this song fucking slaps. I'm sorry. I had to take a moment to drink my coffee and let you guys listen to Bridge Zone, because this song is just, I don't know what it is, but this is like one of the classic tunes that like I put on whenever I need like hard doses of nostalgia and retro shit. This is the song. But in terms of the sound, of course, I'm gonna say I prefer the Genesis over this. The Genesis Sonic songs are so good. You should listen to them. They're fantastic. But this game doesn't sound awful. It's just, I think it's a thing with my ears, and me just actually preferring normal music half of the time. But I don't know. I can't really get behind a lot of the tracks in this game. Not as much as I can like kind of get behind the sound effects. The sound effects are fine on their own. It's just hearing them a shit ton all the time is like, oh, it's a little great. Oh, excuse me, it's a little grating. And I don't know. I can't listen. I can't play this game and have like full blast on my speakers or anything, because it hurts my head. And I feel like a terrible person for just even saying that out loud. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Fucking sound chip shit. Also, these bumpers are fucking pain in the ass sometimes. I don't know if this is the last special stage we see in this playthrough, but it might be. So, on the topic of boss fights, this one in particular I had a really hard time with while I was recording, because I just kind of forgot how to play this game, I think. I had him hit me whenever he shot out the things. I would like get hit by it because I was like on a far side of it, and that also happened like twice, by the way. I left that one in so you could see it. Yeah, no, it's just but a tish. You know, I really want someone out there to do like the fucking Friends thing with me. You know, like make a drinking game out of every time I say but and you know, I say that, but there's a really small chance that somebody already actually has. So I don't want to encourage it because you might die, kind of thing. But if there any college kids watching, but I'm so energetic. I'm sorry. I gotta keep this up for like another 50 minutes or something, because I've kind of already run out of I've already run out of things to say about this game a little bit. But not quite, because this level from this game this level from this game, great job, me. Can I cut that out? No, this is perfect. I can cut all that out. This is great. So, this level, Bridge Zone, it is a level in this game. I had so much time to prep for what I was just about to say, because I had something left in between where I just cut, where I actually did want to cut it out of the video, and I just didn't in the video that I'm watching. I'm doing this how I did Sonic 2, by the way. I started commentating while I was playing, and then at some point I was like, you know what? I don't feel like it right now, so I just didn't. Kind of like how I'm not getting this fucking 1-up. I still, to this fucking day, don't know how to get this 1-up. So if anyone out there can tell me how to get this 1-up, please send me a video on Twitter. Here is my Twitter. But yeah, so the jungle zone, is it jungle zone? I want to say it's just jungle zone, but I almost want to call it the jungle zone just because it sounds funny. But it's not in the original Sonic 1, much like how there isn't a marble zone in the original Sonic 1, and bridge zone isn't in the original Sonic 1 either. Most of the levels in this game don't really share a lot with, or anything with the original Sonic 1. Green Hill and Scrap Brain are in this game, and Labyrinth Zone, but that's about it. But you'll see them in all their glory sooner or later. Sooner or later. These logs and this waterfall just gives me really hard Super Mario Bros. 2 vibes, but like the Doki Doki Panic Super Mario Bros. 2, and not the All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. 2. And I'm the fucking world's biggest Sonic fan. Let me know, all you Mario Sonic haters out there, Mario fans, Sonic haters out there, there's one of you. There's a single one of you, but comment and leave a like, please. I'm begging, I'm begging for it at this point, and you just won't do it. It's kind of funny. So, I'm making this directed toward you. This song is also pretty damn good. I don't think I give this soundtrack enough credit for what it's worth. And I'm trying to, like, remedy that now. I don't give this game enough credit for what it's worth. You know, but with Sonic 2 being on the Master System as well and all. But it's also been quite a while since I've touched that game either, so I don't know, when we get to it, I might end up liking it more. This is also something that I've really, like, I'm getting more and more excited about as we go through the series, because it's like I have so much to say about so much of the series, and I'm saying so little about it because I don't want to dive too deep into it just yet. Like the story in all these games, like the overarching story, there's not a lot connecting all the games together, but what is there, it's neat to me. And as far as the story goes in this game, it's Sonic 1 again. It's just the same it's the same story. There's really no point into talking about it, because it more or less it's the same thing. It's supposed to take place on the same island, just like different parts of it, which makes me want to believe, or like I think it was like a headcanon thing for me for a while, where it's like this game and Sonic 1 on the Genesis kind of sort of just happen at the same time, and it's just telling the same events but like in a different style and order, because Sonic's just going to different parts of the island, or telling it the same but differently, because he's still collecting all the Chaos Emeralds. So that much is up to your interpretation and all that. But while we're still at the jungle zone, I want to kind of touch on two little bits of cut stuff from this game, because there's not a whole lot of missing or obscure content related to this game, as much as there is with like the classic or the Genesis Sonic games. They have a whole lot of like stuff to them that I can make videos in and of themselves about them and all their cut content. So and I don't really I don't plan on doing it with these games. If it happens, it happens, but I feel like even then those videos will be really short and not have a lot of fluff to them, really. So while we're here, there is a missing track that sounds just remarkably similar to Marble Zone, which is just, if it's not evidence for Marble Zone being in this game at one point, or at least planned on being, I don't know what is. But at the very least, we have like the sound from Marble Zone. And that death was fucking stupid and ridiculous, but let's talk about it. So the scrolling in this game isn't really something that works the way it does in the Genesis. And just as a matter of fact, the Sonic games are kind of known for what they did with like scrolling backwards on the screen and like how the camera moves in a 2D plane, because your boy Mario just can't do that kind of thing, and the Sonic games can, but not this one. not this one. Too complicated apparently. If you touch the screen while the bottom of the screen is not loaded, your motherfucking ass is dead. That's just how it rolls. Now, in certain segments like this part right here, I'm pretty sure you might be able to go back down. That's a lie, because the goalpost is right here. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. I love that Eggman sprite. He's so fucking cheeky and ugly and stupid. Oh, and there's also a cut bat from Sonic 1. Like the bat is like textured and everything. It doesn't ever show up. And yeah, there's a couple of unused sprites and stuff like that, but that's the only one I want to make mention of, just because it's an enemy and it just straight up goes unused, and two, it's an enemy from the original Sonic 1, which you guys have already seen. So if that's your favorite enemy, now you can sleep softly at night knowing that it was probably someone at Sega's favorite enemy too, because they made it again. What is Eggman throwing at us here? Because I've always imagined them as like bowling ball type of things, but I've heard hockey pucks, and hockey pucks are kind of funny because that like implies that the hockey puck is somehow stabilizing itself upright on a log or a vine, which makes a little bit more sense than a fucking bowling ball. But here's Labyrinth Zone, and you can really see what I was saying here when I said it doesn't. It just, the game kind of slows down a little bit. Not only does the game just straight up slow down, but the game gets slower too. I don't know. I'm assuming it has to do with like the water being like an effect overlaid on top of everything. But damn is this slow. It gives you more time to like react to everything though. So I guess there's something to it. I don't know if that makes this version better or worse than the original Labyrinth Zone though. I might say worse, just because it is like you have more time to react, but that doesn't give you more frames to react. You know, you're just seeing things happen in slow motion. Also, that wasn't a spike bug or a glitch. That's just kind of what happens whenever you get hit by the spikes in this game. I know Sonic 1 has a spike bug, and I think I showed it off in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, even if it might have been patched in Sonic 2. It's kind of hard to remember everything that like gets patched in between these games. So I just don't want to speak with like too much authority. You know, I'm trying to be like the Sonic guy, but at the same time, I recognize that I'm not, you know. I'm fucking 20. I'm 21 going on 22. So like this is so far outside of my years, it's not even funny. I wasn't even like a twinkle in my father's ball sack when this game came out, let alone when this game was like 10 years old. Actually, I think I might have been a twinkle in my father's ball sack when this game turned 10 years old. Or 15. I don't know. It's I'm thinking the Sonic Adventure 2 anniversary, because that game might have been like a 10-year anniversary game. And if it was, then 91 to 2001, and I'm giving 2001 a little bit of leniency there too, a tiny bit, because I was born in 2002, and like late 2002 at that. So saying I'm a twinkle in '02 is like not correct. God, look at this. Fucking juts back up and everything. Yeah, this is kind of brutal. It's rough. It's so fucking slow. I will say the tile set, like the backgrounds and the foreground for this stage, probably some of the best in this entire game. Just hands down. I'd say it's either that or like Skybase, if you like Skybase, like the aesthetics of it. I just find it to be a little too much on the eyes. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I feel like I need to like hold my horses both like literally and figuratively, because every time, well, first of all, every time I need to hold my thought horses, I'm reeling back in my chair, so you can like you can imagine me like holding my arms out to like wrangle back the horse. You really have to stretch for this analogy, don't you? My bad. I'm sorry, guys. This might be the second time you're watching me play a version of Sonic 1 anyway, so you might be here for the long haul, so you sentence yourself to your own fate now. This is you, the viewer's fault. Yes. Mm-hmm. I am playing this on an emulator. You can see the I don't know if I might cut it out of the video, but just because of like the way the aspect ratio is laid out, I might just keep the whole thing in frame, you know. I know for my Pikmin videos I did make the aspect ratio like square. I'm thinking I might do that for this one, but if I don't, you still will, there's a small chance you'll see the save state icons and everything, because I had to like save my state a couple times. This game does have continues, I didn't really get a whole lot of them this time. And I did not feel like playing this game a whole lot more than I had to. It's kind of one of those things where it's like I care, but I don't care enough to fulfill the experience. You know, I'm giving myself the experience, and I'm translating that over to you. That's just how I see it, kinda. Because I know a lot of people have inherent biases directed towards video games, and this is a tangent all of its own. But if you don't play a game like on its own hardware, with its own stuff and everything, and like the more you take away from the experience, the less fun you have, is the idea. But I don't really see it like that half of the time. And most of the time, in the case of like making videos, most of what I do regarding that kind of thought and that sentiment is mostly done for the sake of the video and my own enjoyment while I play the video game. Because just as a baseline, like, games are supposed to be fun. Like, it's supposed to be enjoyable. And if I'm straight up not enjoying the experience, I don't think that you, the viewer, are going to have that great of a time either. Unless, of course, I am having my own fun in cases of, like, bad games. But I can quickly fucking assure you that, like, half of all YouTubers probably don't even care about the games that they play. And god damn it, I would say that most YouTubers don't fucking care about the games they play. I think a lot of it is done for views, and I say that knowing I am not an exception to that. It's a give and a take for me, most of the time, where it's like, okay, I want to play this game. I don't have to justify it, because the reason why I want to play this game is so I can talk about it, and I have I already have things I want to say about it. I already have things I like about the game because I've already played the game. And I see a lot of YouTubers nowadays, and this is just, again, side tangent in and of itself, but I just see a lot of YouTubers nowadays just kind of do stuff for the clickbait, for the views. This is a thing that's been happening for like ever. It's probably never going to stop either. And truthfully, it is just sad to see, because why even bother go through the effort? Why even bother go through the time and the grueling exhaustion of putting yourself through something that you don't particularly enjoy, just for the sake of a video? I fundamentally get it, because I know what it's like to play games that you just don't like, right? I'm playing every single Sonic game. But, you know, that being said and all, like, I just can't, like, get it through my thick skull why, like, how some YouTubers can just stay on the same game just because it's, like, it's farmable, or it's, like, it's a game with, like, a big multiplayer base or a big install base or something. Or you know, something to that degree, akin to that kind of thing. There's some people who are just like, shit, I did that twice. That's fucking brutal. Excuse me. What was I saying? I know some people, I've seen some YouTubers, I don't know some people, but I've seen some YouTubers just kind of play the same game for like years. And they're like, oh yeah, no, I only play this game because it's my job. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like, just play a different game at least. Jesus. That's pretty much all I have to say about that, is really just play a fucking different game. I only play this game because it's my job. Fuck you. Genuinely, fuck you. I say fuck you twice, because the fuck you I didn't really mean, because I'm like, again, I'm understanding, I'm getting it. But the second fuck you is like, fuck you, why aren't you having fun? play, at least play a part of the game you like. Talk about the game, and then put it down, and then play another game. Now, if it's, I guess if it's something where, and I'm really trying to stretch it here, where someone likes playing video games, but they don't have the ability to commentate over the game or talk about the game or even play the game the way that they can, like their main game on their main channel or whatever, then I can kind of understand, right? But I don't know. It kind of gets to me a little bit, just because I've seen people in that situation. I've seen people get out of that situation and then go on to have better careers outside of that game. Smash Brothers. But like so many creators, man. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, Sonic 1 on the Master System. Great game. We're in Scrap Brain Zone now, and we're gonna spend a while here because of this part right here in particular. I don't know what happened here. Sometimes I think I end the level by doing it, but sometimes you can just kind of fall the right way and kind of clip yourself into the wall there. And I don't really get the chance to do it until like later. If I do it, I'm pretty sure I have to do it to progress though, so I might just straight up be stupid right now. I'm not entirely sure. See, this game and most of 2D Sonic games, the level design is kind of put in a way that often lends people to just getting lost. However, in this one instance, this one level in this one video game, I am almost certain that they made it so that you did get lost at this level. And that was just a funny death. I don't even know if I want to cut that one out. There's a lot of deaths in this playthrough. It was so much more than in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. I had to cut out a lot just because I was like so unfamiliar with it all. Fucking where am I type beat the whole way through. Also, that Caterpillar sprite is fucking morbid. Like, that dude looks bad. Shout out to this button. Fucking great button. It really does wonders for the soul, this button. Wait, was that sound effect Sonic? Nice. Was that sound effect Sonic hitting the wall? Like wall collision sound effect? Or was that just... I don't know. I will say it's kind of interesting how they did just like completely swap the music between... That was fucking hilarious. It's crazy how they swapped the music for Scrap Brain Zone in between the Genesis and Master System versions. Because the Genesis version is fucking hard. I'm not going to say this version's bad. Just in comparison, oh man. Genesis is good. Oh my god, I did it. Oh man, that took longer than it should. Excuse me. Shout out to this button. So anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it did happen like that the first time. Yeah, so again, not a whole lot else to really say by this point, other than, yeah, this certainly is Scrap Brain Zone. This really has been a Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Sega Master System. Look at this level. Look at it. Look at it. Let's look at it together. Because I can't comprehend it. Remember how I said that last level was like, oh, it's designed for you to get lost? I'm pretty sure you weren't supposed to find your way out of this one. I think there's some celestial deity that appeared to Sega / Ancient while developing this game, because they made this one with the intention for you to just get stuck here and not progress further into the game. They made a final boss and everything for people with like Game Shark codes and shit like that. They were like, oh yeah, people are gonna just like cheat the level or something, so let's just make a boss or something. Should make a final boss. And one guy in the back of the room was like, yeah, I can code it in a day. They're like, sure, whatever, put it in. We were gonna have like a final level, but I guess we could put it in still. We didn't put it in the Genesis version, so I doubt they're getting past Scrap Brain anyway. So go ahead, man. Make your final boss. And then they did. I don't know. I don't know what the point of the lights are on half of these doors. Like, they're just lights on the doors, and I don't know if they mean anything. Nothing really changes when you run past them 4 or 5 or 6 times. I really did just miss that one part. That's rough. Yeah. Let's see if I get there again. Nope, I'm making a right. Wait, no, this is how I get there. Yeah, this is how I get there. No, the door's locked now because I'm stupid. So I go to the left, as you do, and then I just keep going left. And then, as you do, you go back up, the door's closed, so you're like, oh shit, and you keep going, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down. Oh, that door's closed, I have to go down. So you go down as you do, and then you go back up, you find your way up here, you go up, you finally get to this part where you're gonna go, you completely just dodge that ring, because you're an asshole, and then the door's closed again, so you gotta go all the way back around to the other side. At least this time you kind of know what you're doing. You missed the ring again. This time it's a little funny because you might have actually been going for it. You finally get to the part where you need to progress somewhere, and you go the wrong fucking way again. It's insane. It's crazy. I'm insane. And then, oh, look at here. You finally get the ring. You go up again. And then what happens? You go to the... Just kidding. I think that was a prank I've done for myself, but in the future. Shout out to this button. Shout out to this button again. So yeah, Scrap Brain. I got nothing else. That was an aching experience, truly. And there's the end of the level. One of the few classic Sonic levels to not end with a goalpost of any kind, or a capsule. Yeah, it's a goal. It's like a goal sign or a capsule. It's one or the other. Pardon the epilepsy warning on screen you just saw there, and the vocal indication. But yeah, this stage has some pretty bad flashing lights. So if you have a problem with epilepsy, I suggest not really paying too much attention to this part. Or really too much further on into this playthrough. You've pretty much seen all you can. I'm actually imagining some people had trouble with the fucking waterfall segment in Jungle Zone. This zone has some pretty bad lighting effects. I'm just gonna be straight up and honest with you. The rings are pretty cool looking though, because it's all grayed out and everything. So it's got that going for it. And this fucking guy, who you can't really get past because you gotta wait for him to move. Otherwise you're just gonna get hit like that. But there are lightning bolts all over. You can kind of make them out with the diamonds and stuff. So it's like, it's supposed to be like your indicator and like where everything is. But there are just too many hazards as it is. And like I get confused. I start thinking the signs are fucking, or not the signs, the lights, like the little stage lighting the level has all over the place. I start thinking those are fucking hazards as well, and I get scared of them. These fucking things right here that I'm standing on, those are spooky looking, and I don't blame a child, me, or any child for that matter, for getting mixed up there and thinking it's a death trap or something. And here we are, Skybase Act 2. I like this level. It's actually pretty cool. It's short, kind of like the other Skybase, but this one has a lot going for it. It's giving me like Mario airship vibes a lot, especially with these fucking things. Like they're just straight up bob-ombs, but I guess Starlight Zone also kind of just had straight up bob-ombs that worked pretty similarly, if not exactly the same as these ones do. But that one had like fucking zero love or empathy for anything living or dead. It's like right next to a moving spike wall, and when it explodes, it just goes everywhere and it explodes everything, and you can't really fucking avoid it. And if you hit it, you're fucking SOL. So fuck that enemy. Fuck that enemy placement in particular. And here we are, the final boss of Sonic 1 on the Master System. Does it look familiar? I sure hope it does, because it's kind of just the boss from Sonic 1. Who would have guessed? It is very different. There aren't pillars that come straight at you, but it does have the energy balls that Eggman shoots at you in similar fashion. And this giant wall of electricity, I guess, as like the main obstacle. But I'm just gonna be honest, this boss fight's kind of piss easy. It's stupid easy. There's actually a way that you can like jump. I might have tried to do it once or twice. I just had more luck just actually fighting the boss though. You can like clip underneath him and like get a shit ton of hits on him. It's kind of dope. The energy ball does fucking still home in on you though, and it will kill you. But yeah, that boss is, you know what it is. It's a final boss. It's got final boss kind of difficulty. It's definitely the hardest boss in the game. And you beat it, and then you beat the game, and here it is, the ending, the final, the end of the game. We did it. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, you get a little score thing at the end too. I forgot to mention this. It's like a little Sonic's left. That's your lives. At first I actually I read that. It's been so long since I played this game. I read that and I'm like, Sonic left? Like he left the island? Like that's just what you're gonna end it on? That's how it ends? It's like, no, that's your lives left. I was kind of laughing at that. But yeah, no, so Sonic 1, it's a game. I can't give it much more praise than I already have. It's a Sonic game. It's an 8-bit Sonic game. As much as I hate to admit, it's just like exactly what you'd expect, you know? Yeah, loss of words right now. I like this end credit scene. It's fun. It's very it fucking caught my eye and my attention. It's actually my my favorite part about this game is the credits. I may or may not have played through this entire game excited for this one part. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, say hi in the comments, share this with one of your Sonic friends or one of your Mario friends, because that would be equally as funny. Mario fans and Sonic fans seem to get along after the Olympics and, you know, all the drama, especially regarding the incident. But, you know, all that being said, enough said. I'll see you guys later.